welcome back to Real Tech Talk Across the Industries, where we spotlight founders and innovators redefining how companies grow, scale, and adapt in today's technology-driven world. Today's guest has built one of the fastest growing customer support platforms in the market, a tool that has reshaped how companies communicate with customers across messaging, email, chat, and AI-powered automation. I'm thrilled to welcome Seymur Reslo, CEO and co-founder of WELP.com. Seymur, welcome to the show.
Stephanie, thank you very much for having me. Nice to meet you.
Yes, I'm so happy you could be here. It only took us a little bit, but with our crazy schedules, we were able to finally connect. I definitely want to just dive right in and kind of just learn your story and what got you to where you're at today, and then we'll dive into more a little bit further.
Absolutely. Entrepreneurship is a very challenging journey, and it started with a personal frustration when I was constantly on hold with the banks and I had to resolve an issue and I was constantly on hold. You remember they put you on hold and then you have to listen to this horrible music and
Elevator music.
yes, and you're like, why don't you guys choose a nice music at least, right? And sometimes that music was very depressive. So anyway, at one point I was living in Dubai, and I was on call with a bank that was delaying things. So I put it down and I said, look, I'm a tech savvy person. There should be a solution for people like me that want to get things their own done, right? Get things done on their own schedule, on their own time. And I was like, if I had a self-guiding, sort of a self-explaining manual for me how to do things, I could just solve my own problem. And then I thought that, you know what, we can build a flow-based chatbot with a certain authentication level that you can get things done on your own. You don't need a bank employee for that because I know my account details, I know my problem. So what I did, I'm a non-technical entrepreneur. So the first thing I did was post on LinkedIn. Many people are afraid to share their ideas, and I think that is wrong approach. If you want to attract right people, you should be upfront. No one is going to steal your idea. People are too busy. Even if they steal your idea, let them steal it. That will be basically proof of concept for you. So what I did, I put my idea on LinkedIn. I said, this is what I want to build. I'm looking for people or a person is technical enough to help me build this to solve this problem. One guy replied, and I did not know the guy. He replies and he says, I'm a technical person. I'm studying computer science and I like the problem and I have personally experienced it and I would like to help you. So we jump on a call and I don't know the guy. He clicks on the call. I get him a ticket to Dubai and he flies all the way to Dubai and we meet in person and we click very well and he disappears for 6 months. No, nothing. He sent an email. Yeah, he goes back and he disappears for 6 months. And I'm like, okay, I guess. And at some point I emailed him. I said, forget the project. Are you alive? He
No.
replies 6 months later. He says, I have built the entire infrastructure. It's ready for you to test. Do you want to test it?
What?
I'm like, yes. I'm like, wow, mind blown. I test it and I say, do the design, do this. The business logic should be good. I studied information organization and access at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. It's a really good school. And I have a very good eye for the tech stack. Like when I look at the technology, I can immediately, like a Superman seeing through the walls, I can see through the tech stack, right? And I think that is what entrepreneurs should be. Even if you're not technical, you need to have really good technical background to understand technology, even if you're not coding yourself. So when I look at the technology that he built, I'm like, this is going to be heavy. You need to do it light infrastructure. You need to do this, you need to do that. So we built microservice infrastructure, all that stuff. So 8 months later, we had the first MVP, right?
Oh my
And
gosh.
that is when I started knocking on the doors, literally in person, physically going door to door and pitching and I leveraged LinkedIn a lot. So that's where personal branding helped. So throughout this podcast, I want us to focus on 6P, sort of a framework that I personally used. And then the first P stands for the problem, right? So that is how you come up with the problem. And the problem needs to be three things. It needs to be personal, it needs to be recurring, and it needs to be scalable. So it needs to be somehow personal. You have personally experienced it somehow, right? It needs to be recurring. It's not just one time thing. And it needs to be scalable so that you can grow it as a business. So these are the things that helped me to build in the first place.
Now I love that. And just, you're so right though. I hate calling different companies and you're just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. And I love that someone finally goes, there's another way. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, yeah, it happened. I was entering one time through the US immigration, and then the immigration officer said, "So what's your business?" I said, "Well, I help customers get a really good, excellent customer service. I help companies deliver that excellent customer service." He was like, "Can we have a chat?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, as long as I'm not holding up the line." He's like, "No, don't worry about it." He said, "Look, I spent 2 hours on the phone with a bank yesterday. I was so frustrated. And he's needed someone to speak to, he needed someone to listen to his customer service problems. It's like a therapy. So I listened to him, and then he was like, "Welcome to the US." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." So
That
that
is
was fun.
hilarious. He just needed to get that off his chest. You came at the right time. So the customer support space is undergoing like major transformation, obviously, and everything from how customers want to communicate to how they expect fast solutions. Because we're a now world. We want everything done now. So from your perspective, what are the biggest trends shaping customer engagement today outside of what you're currently doing and where you're going?
I do have an emergency meeting with my team on Sunday, this coming Sunday, because what we realized that for the last 6 years, what we have built what helped us get here will not help us get further, right? And I have a goal to exit my company around 2028 for a significant number. We do have that number. We're thinking about selling our company for 550 million. That's our goal. I don't know it's going to happen. I don't know it's realistic or not. I just have the number 550 million, and I got that experience from an investor. I want to share this story because it could be useful for the audiences. So one time I was raising for my company, and I was raising from investors from South Korea. I was in New York. It was 2 a.m. in New York, and I was talking to six investors from at the same time from South Korea. So at one point during the conversation, one of the investors came very close to the screen. He said, "Sell me your company now. How much?" I said, 50 million. He said, "I like you because you have a number in mind, some sort of number, right?" And he said, "We would like to invest in you guys." They invested, and they decided to invest just because I had an exit strategy in mind, right? So
Yes.
now we have that 550 million. Hopefully, it could be more, it could be less. I don't know, but that's sort of on our north star. Now, that being said, with the AI now everywhere, right? And when looking at the digital transformation happening, a lot of transition happening, a lot of new tools and technology, customer service experience industry is a red ocean. Like there are so many tools out there. There are so many players out there, and I think I do have a clear understanding of innovation, that we need to innovate. Otherwise, we're going to be a legacy technology, right? And even now, I see that we are becoming like a certain Kodak photo cameras, right?
Yeah.
Some people have it and they are really sort of they are passionate about it, they are collectors, they have it, but now everybody has a phone, right? So
Mhm.
if we do not innovate, if we do not integrate AI, if we do not integrate AI agents, if we do not adopt the agentic workflow into our customer service solution, we will be outdated soon. So there are a
Yes.
lot of tools out there. Here's another thing, but with a lot of availability comes analysis paralysis, right? Many companies are having hard time how to choose, what will be the right to choose, and then fear of missing out or making a mistake. That is where a comparative approach comes in place, where companies can actually compare multiple tools and decide what is a good fit. So I believe that going forward, small and medium, mostly medium businesses will still be a very good target audience for us, right? In terms of
Yes.
the customers. Enterprise sales cycle is too long. Small and micros and small businesses may not be very good for the cash flow or in terms of the ROI. And they will be able most likely to use many free tools or very freemium tools, right? So the sweet spot for us could be, which is medium sized companies where we can actually innovate. But I gotta tell you that with AI everywhere, transformation is happening. And if you do not catch the curve, if you do not catch the wave, sort of you will be left behind.
Yes, we are in the AI boom. The race kicked off beginning of last year, and it's been crazy. But that's what I'm talking about. Educate yourself, start learning the tools, understand it, fold it into your business, and you hit a sensitive point for me too. It is the small and mid class businesses that are kind of being overlooked, or a lot of these things became unattainable or unaffordable. But if we're able to get smart and control different things that are in their range, you're going to get more adaptability, and that's more
Absolutely.
reoccurring.
Yeah, totally. And I think, like, but here's the thing. I've been talking to some consultants that are doing AI adoption for organizations, and there's something that we have to address the elephant in the room. Many of these AI adoption projects are useless. I gotta tell you that the AI is not there and to fully replace certain workflows. It does a good job to certain degrees. And but when it comes to organizations, many organizations are rushing into adopting AI just to be at the forefront of it. But I asked a very sort of a brutal question to the consultant that I was talking to a couple of days ago. I said, "Have you seen any AI solution that was implemented and it's successfully working right now?" He said no, because they implemented it either messes up things or it still needs a lot of tweaking human approach here and there. So I would say that even though AI adoption is there, AI boom is there, like you mentioned, we have to be very careful when we are selecting vendors. We shouldn't just throw the money into air and waste it just because it has an AI on it, right? AI name on it. So you need to still talk to. Sometimes when customers come to me and talk to me, or prospects, I give them advice. I give them unbiased advice. I say, look, I don't have a horse in this race, but I think you should stick with the Excel right now. Don't buy any technology, as it will be. It's too early for you right now. So there are conversations that we as entrepreneurs and companies need to be ready to have that as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I fully agree. So, with moving from email only support to WhatsApp, Instagram, SMS, and live chat, how has this shift to multi channel messaging changed how companies connect with their customers? Like, what are you doing to create that shift for them, and how has it been working so far? Obviously, you're very successful. So, I'd love to see how that process has gone for you with clients.
Stephanie, that's a very good question because you mentioned WhatsApp. Unfortunately, we're not seeing heavy WhatsApp adoption in the US for multiple reasons.
Really?
Yeah, we're not seeing a lot
Yeah.
of WhatsApp adoption for specifically businesses. And there's a solid reason for that. I'll come to that in a bit. I think US has never been a WhatsApp culture. I don't know if it's going to change or not, but US has always been a call and SMS, call and text, right? SMS and call culture. And then the what do you call it, the blue dots and the green dots are doing a good job here, and but the rest of the world has heavily adopted WhatsApp, right?
Yes.
When we look at Latin America, heavy use of WhatsApp. When we look at Europe, Netherlands, Germany, UK, these are WhatsApp countries. Baltics, these are WhatsApp countries. When we look at Middle East, heavy WhatsApp users. When we look at Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, heavy WhatsApp countries. Only Vietnam is using its own app called Zalo. China
Okay.
has China has WeChat, right? And South Korea has something called Kakao. So and then Japan has something called Line. For the rest of the world is WhatsApp, right? Heavy WhatsApp. We're talking about Argentina. We're talking about India. India is a huge WhatsApp user. Now, when it comes to a solution like that, and the thing is, with WhatsApp, open rate is 99%. Like people react to WhatsApp significantly higher and better than SMS. People react to WhatsApp significantly higher and better than email. People
Yeah.
react to WhatsApp better than the phone calls. WhatsApp has proven to be very successful in terms of very intimate, one-on-one, personalized customer support, right? And if the businesses are able to offer that, they will be one step ahead of their competitors. That being said, I am still seeing some resistance from US companies, American companies doing that. I have no idea why, but maybe because somehow there's a prejudice that WhatsApp is somehow associated with scam. But I think we need to bring that down as a wall. We bring that down, like destroy that prejudice. Now, imagine you are. I was actually flying KLM recently. KLM is a Dutch airlines. It's a Netherlands airlines, right? Air carrier. And when you actually book a ticket, you buy a ticket, and you put your phone number there, and they immediately WhatsApp you your boarding, your all these details. They send it to you, and then it's a chatbot. And if there's any notification, it comes to your WhatsApp, and you can actually ask a question saying or provide feedback right away, right? You don't have to go to their website and spend 20 minutes search for the contact button
Yeah.
or fill out a form. No, it's right in your hand, and you have. And throughout the flight, there was internet, and throughout the flight, I was able to chat with the WhatsApp assistant. Like, let's just say you're flying and you're not happy with something. You can actually immediately provide feedback right on the WhatsApp conversation to KLM's chatbot through WhatsApp, and just do that. And and you don't have to download a new app. You don't have to go to website.
Yeah, yeah, it's super efficient. I love that.
I would say omni-channel customer support is, I mean, we don't have to talk about how valuable it is, but I think we can talk about how important it is for businesses to implement it if they haven't implemented it yet, right? I do still see very popular businesses for some reason having a very old-fashioned fill out form on their contact page. And I
Oh,
still
yeah.
have to spend 2 3 minutes trying to find their phone number. I still have to spend a lot of time to see, do they have a live chat or not? Can I contact immediately? Can I ask an instant question? So I would say instant omni-channel customer support will definitely increase customer retention, customer conversion, loyalty, as well as definitely help with the business growth.
No, I agree. And this goes right into my next question. AI and chatbots are everywhere now. What role do they play in helping companies manage inquiries at scale without losing quality? Because that's the biggest fear.
I think most of the repetitive questions are taken care of, right, with the chatbot. Now there are multiple types of chatbot. There's a one chatbot called flow-based scenario. You basically build a flow, and it's static, it's fixed, right? The customer clicks this, here are three options. Customer clicks this, there are three options. And now then there's an AI powered chatbots, because when AI learns the knowledge base and then answers. I have recently written an article on the power of sort of a layered customer support. I do write a lot of articles on LinkedIn. So if the audience is interested, they can check out some articles on LinkedIn in terms of the customer support. So my approach was that first it's a chatbot, then it is AI, then it is live agent. And this is how it works. Let's just say you come to American United Airlines website, right? The moment the chatbot pops up, says book a flight, customer survey, complaints or refunds, right away, the options. You click refunds or customer support, and then says, what can I help you with? Booking, checking in, luggage. Because you're like, none of them. My option is about additional ticket. So you, instead of selecting this time, you type additional seat, right? Now, this is where instead of fixed chatbot, the AI power kicks in. AI understands your words saying that this person is looking for an extra seat. And then AI powered chatbot kicks in saying that, Stephanie, I noticed that you're asking for an extra seat. How can I help you? You're like, I want to buy extra seat. Okay, that means buy extra seat. Now AI takes you to that knowledge base. Now here's another thing. Your next question is that I want a discount. I want a discount because I have family members or this and that. Now AI doesn't have that in the knowledge base. It's a
Yeah.
very specific thing. That is when AI triggers the live agent, and live agent kicks in into the conversation. And live agent said, Stephanie, you have been talking to my colleague AI, right? And my name is James. And how can I help you? I noticed that you asked for a specific discount because you have a family member, let's just say, in the army or military services, or I will be personally able to help you. Now, that is a very good collaboration of, and then once James, as a live human support agent, solves your problem, you're like, okay, now I'm ready to book. James gives you the specific promo code. Then James says that now I'm going to actually put you back into chatbot, right? The flow base. And then you will be able to book with that specific promo code. And then you just go and follow the flow. And then you book it, you are self-service. So instead of you keeping James busy for 100%, you only took 25% of his time. 75% of the work was done by AI-based chatbot and flow-based chatbot, right? That is where I see the integration of these three major components in customer support. And that is how the AI chatbots are very useful. But if you type something and AI chatbot says, I don't understand, repeat it, you're like, what is the point of this service if it doesn't understand me? I mean, if it doesn't get my problem solved. And then you keep typing human, AI vision. And it says, I don't understand, I don't understand. You're like in a vicious cycle. You're like, bah.
Yeah. Then you swipe the app off. You're like, I'm done.
Yes, yes. You get frustrated. You leave one review and you say not recommended.
Yeah, it could really go one way or the other. So, what are some of the misconceptions that businesses still have about automating customer support? Like, what are some of the pushbacks they say?
For some reason, we still like to talk to humans because we think that humans will have empathy to understand. We can convince them. At the same
Uh,
time, Yeah, at the same time we can relate to them, they can relate to us. I mean, given the fact that machines are working 0 to 1, right, or 1 to 0, it's black and white. But that being said, if I can get my very regular routine thing done with few clicks, right, with the AI, I actually would be happy to do it myself. I'm a very, like, let me call and talk to human type of guy, right? But at the same time, I noticed that if I can get things done myself, right? If I can get it done like with the few clicks, I don't want to hold on for 3 minutes anymore. You know,
Yeah.
if I can get things done in 30 seconds, what's the point of holding for 3 minutes for the next available agent? What's the point of that? But another thing is that, let's just say, I'll give some names. Bank of America, right? Bank of America has an Amy. Amy is a chatbot right in your app. Right? It lives in your Bank of America. I've noticed that Amy has been very supportive for about 30 to 40% of my needs. But sometimes you still need to call, and I wait. But then I started trying to utilize Amy a bit more. I noticed that Bank of America also improving this service, right? For example, when I use my card abroad, I immediately get notification saying that the transaction got declined. Confirm this if this is you, and then it takes me to app, and I chat with Amy, and Amy says, "Can you repeat this? Can you confirm this?" And it's a chatbot, so I'm not getting a phone call. I don't have to call my bank or hold on line for long periods of time. No, nothing like that. I just get things done, and the card is unblocked, and I'm good to go. So these are the type of interactions I see where AI is becoming popular, right? And then we need to get used to this. We need to be okay with this, that, hey, let me get things done on my own, and instead of waiting on hold for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's essentially we're initiating a new train behavior. This is how we're going to navigate things up to a certain point. And I tell people it's out of their comfort zone. They just like they go in panic mode sometimes with technology, but it's kind of we're like reconditioning it. Like this is the way to get you here quicker, or you get that boring elevator music.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like I said, I am glad that you brought it up, because, and you mentioned it, because, I think it's podcasts like this or content like this that needs to create more awareness that we are going into that, and we should be okay with the at least self-service things. So self-service, and it helps us. Here's the thing: if you do it once, we like that. We like that. We like the feeling of
A
accomplishment.
reward.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It works, and then we want to try it again. So I would encourage people to give it a chance.
As do I. So let's talk about WELP. WELP itself, because your growth hasn't been small, hundreds of companies across dozens of industries use WELP, which is incredible to unify messaging, automate support, and streamline customer communications. So I want to understand more of the journey with like what's WELP doing today and where are you going next for our listeners?
Great question. It may seem, it's not always the shiny and sunny and beautiful out there. There have been very difficult days, and there have been times we grew the team, large team. We became a team of 32 people, and then I had to reduce the team, and then you look for, and then someone leaves from your team to share the secrets with, competitors. You always go through things like this, right?
Oh, yes.
And then in terms of the growth, we did grow exponentially at some point. At some point, the growth slowed down, and at some point, it picked up again. Now, what we need to do at this point is to innovate. And right now, we are working on some AI agents that can take over certain things. But the problem is that you start working on something, and then these large players come, like Copilot or Co-work from Cloud now or OpenAI. They do one announcement, and it kills your features. It kills your business. With one announcement, it kills so many startups or projects or innovate. So we start to listen to customers. So we do heavily listen to customers. We ask what customers want, what they are looking for, what their expectations are. The good thing is that these commercial tools that we see out there, like OpenAI, Copilot, or Cloud Co-work, or others, um, organizations do not immediately integrate these technologies. It's good for consumer use, right? It's good for B2C, but when it comes to B2B, organizations are very careful with the data security, data safety, data integration, and the data privacy. These are very important tools, and that's where our winning strategy comes in.
Okay.
One of the things that I notice is one of our unique selling points is USPs is data safety and security, where we can actually protect your data and keep your data on your organization's soil, like without going to cloud, for example, right? Cloud integration.
But yeah, I mean, security first was like one of your things listed all over the place in your website. That's very
It is.
good.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a very what do you call it? It's a very winning. It's a very strong competitive advantage for us when it comes to comparing our tool to others. And many other tools are built cloud only. We are actually built both. We are cloud and on-prem supportive technology. So that helps a lot with the winning customers. However, that being said, I have been heavily involved in large scale sales, large scale, but there's a great team behind this, right? A couple days ago, they highlighted me on LinkedIn for CEO Network or something. It was a company from Europe, I think. They featured me on one of the articles, and my comment, and I didn't know about this, and my comment at under the post was that, it's my picture there, but there's a huge team behind this thing.
Hmm.
Right? There's an engineer team, there's a support team, sales team, there's marketing, there's accounting people, right, who
Many
support.
layers.
Yeah, there are a lot of players, and without them, it would be not only difficult, impossible, totally impossible, right? So those are the things. But we had to separate with my co-founder. We had to go separate ways. It's another difficult challenge for entrepreneurs when you lose your co-founder. They decide to do something else. They get tired of it. My co-founder literally was like, "I'm done. I want to build a life. I want to get a regular job. I want to be work
Yeah.
9 to 5. I want to have my weekends." So I will tell you a fun story. Last summer, not this one, 2024 summer, I met with a very, very old friend of mine, and he is now a school teacher.
No way.
Yeah, and we went to the same college. We went to the same college. We studied together, and now he's a school teacher, and he teaches English for what do you call it, middle and high school. So we are having chat. We met after like I don't know 10 years or something, and then he was like, and then I said, "How's your life, man? How are things?" He said, "Good. I got wife. I got 2 kids. I have my evenings. I have my weekends. It's good. I work until 5 p.m. and then on the weekends we travel and this and that. I make decent. We don't talk about money." And then he said, I sleep, and he said, "What do you have?" I said, "I have no sleep. I have no weekends. I have no evenings. I have no this. I have no that." And he was like, "Then why are you doing it?" Which is a very good question.
Yeah.
Very, very good question. And I think your audiences need to answer this question as well, that why are we doing this? But here's the answer. If you think you will be bored on a regular routine job, I'm 42 years old now, and up until certain age, I would say I would be bored. Right? I would say that if you have this something called entrepreneurial itch, if you stay still, if you stand still, most probably some parts of your body will start itching. You will want to touch it. It's the legs, it's the neck. I call it entrepreneurial itch. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you go to 9 to 5, you do the regular job, but you start itching, you want to itch, you want to scratch. That means you want to create something. That is why I think when you feel safe with your savings, with the family, with the cash flow runway, that's when you need to quit and build something. So I would say it's not always the good things happening. There's a lot of stress, uncertainty of whether money will hit the bank account, whether you will be able to pay the salaries. What happens if you're not able to pay the salaries? You pay everybody first, and then it's your turn, and then you literally look at your bank account. You're like, and another fun thing is that you do all these things. At the end, you look at it. You're like, I could get this in a regular job. Why am I doing this? But yeah, but there are a lot of rewards as well. There are a lot of rewards coming with this. I would say that's why I highly recommend to think not only twice but many many times before doing either getting a full-time job or doing full-time entrepreneurship.
You go from almost like corporate structures, punch in, punch out, to entrepreneurship is you're flying by the seat of your pants, and it's a 7 day a week job. I mean, it's a lot of fun and it's really rewarding too. Like you said, it has its ups and downs, but it's not for the faint or the lighthearted. That's
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
you sacrifice certain things, right? And the question is, are you willing to sacrifice those things that you will be sacrificing? That's the question. There's nothing wrong with getting a full-time corporate job and staying in it with 20 years. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to respect people's preferences. I hate those
Absolutely.
articles on LinkedIn when it comes saying that, oh, do that, do that. No, you don't know people's story. You don't know. You cannot say those things, right? Let people choose whatever they want to choose. If they want to have a corporate job day in, day out, 20 years, 9 to 5, fixed salary, if they're happy that's them. You cannot judge that.
We need those people. Society still needs them.
Yeah,
So not
yeah.
everyone can be entrepreneurs.
And if you want to be crazy and go create something, that's also fine. As long as you are okay with the things that you're gonna lose and gain, right? It's your preference, it's your sacrifice. But you have to do a very good sort of a pros and cons. And it's never late to switch back and forth. It's never late to switch back and forth. Yeah. You can always go
I
build
agree.
something. You can always come and use your in entrepreneurial experience in a corporate world. They will appreciate that. And it's just, you can even do both at the same time. So I think it's all about preferences.
Yeah, I fully agree on that as well. So it's again, it's what makes you happy at the end of the day. You know, what drives you to get out of bed every morning. So that's the
Happy.
question.
Yes, Stephanie, there's one more thing I want to underline. I think we are putting too much emphasis on the word happy. I would say peaceful, because happy is a state of mood, like a mood. It changes. Like the way we are happy is just the way we are hungry or sleepy. But peaceful is like you have a peace of mind. It goes on a longer period of. You may not be happy. You may be like, I'm meh, I'm okay. But you're peaceful that, I was actually walking yesterday and I said, if you have a gas full of tank, if you have fridge full of food and roof over your head, if you and the people in your life are healthy, you're not driving 3 times to the hospital back and forth like you drive to Home Depot, right? You are peaceful. You need to appreciate those things. You need to be very grateful for those things. We sometimes think that when we got our one of our raises, when we closed a very good contract, I said to myself, I'm gonna give myself good bonus and I'm gonna buy a very expensive car. And I had a fancy car and I fancied a car for some time, and I bought that car. It was a Mercedes GLE Coupe. It's a very fancy sportish car, and I got the car from dealership and I started driving it a week later, and I said, I'm inside a fancy car, but inside me there's no peace of mind. What's the point of this? And that's when I realized that's when I remembered a very good saying that it's not about what you drive, it's about what drives you, right? So I sold that car and I bought a regular car, and now I feel very good now. I'm like, wow, I like this car. It's really, yeah. So it's not about those fancy things. And I read recently an article by economists that very rich people are seeing a drastic shift in rich people's spending preferences. They are not buying items anymore, they're buying experiences now. They're not buying gold watches, they're not buying cars or fancy houses or yachts. They're preferring more rewarding experiences. Fancy luxury items are going away, luxury experiences are coming in. And for me, luxury experience is spending time with my son, spending time with, in the nature, being healthy, taking care of the people in my life. Those are blessings that you cannot count. They're not, I mean, you
Absolutely.
really, yeah, you need to appreciate them.
Wow, beautifully said. I'm right into that. So, with all this wisdom and everything that you've attained, and I love this "Are you at peace?" I'm definitely going to steal that from you. I'm going to be adopting it. But with how your teams expand, how has your leadership style changed as you've grown this wisdom and adapted? And you've had to pivot so many times too.
I had a terrible leadership style. I was a middle road manager. Middle road
Okay,
managers are the most dangerous ones. One day they are very friendly, they are people person, they support you, they care about your family. Another day they can actually ruin you for not making. So I had that dangerous personality.
interesting.
So what I noticed that I was able to support them personally. I cared about their father, cared about families. But the next day I was like, where have you been? Like, what's going on? So I was sort of a that was a horrible leadership style or management style. So I learned to what do you call it? To delegate. I was like, you know what? If I am not being good at this, let me start delegating certain things. Let go. So I started bringing up the people with the right quality of the work, with the right ethical approach to business, and then I started building people that I will be able to peacefully delegate. And I did delegate, and you're not gonna believe, but these days I barely work.
You put everything in place, and that's when it becomes a machine. You put all
Yeah.
the gears, now it starts functioning.
Yes, and there's a guy in my team who takes care of many things. And the last thing I delegated to him was hiring. I said, you know
Okay.
what? From now on, you are in charge of hiring, and you don't have to ask me anything. If you think this is the right person for the team, feel free to hire on the spot. So interesting thing happened. 2 days later, I saw a LinkedIn post, a girl tagging my name and the company name, saying that I am so proud to announce that I've joined the team. I'm like, who hired you? And then I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I didn't even,
You gave them full autonomy.
so I did not even bring it up. I messaged my guy saying that I noticed you hired someone. Great job. Congratulations. Let me know if you need anything. He was like,
Yeah.
oh, we're good. We're fine. No worries. Everything is cool. I'm like, okay, I'll go spend time with my son. So I'm able to walk my son to school, pick him up, and not get into calls, not get into business meetings. And this guy messages me. He sends daily reports. He's like, this is what happened. I met this. I don't need you right now, but I will need you on Wednesday for this meeting because they need to see you. Okay. So I noticed that at some point it turns into sort of a machine that runs on its own, or sort of an autopilot. But in order to be able to reach that point, you have to be able to do two things. Number one, build a solid team, and number two,
Yes.
be able to let go. So these are very important.
No, and thank you for sharing that. That's such a very, very important thing for any entrepreneur, any person in business to understand, because I mean, you need to surround yourself by people that have strengths in places that you have weaknesses, because that's how you're going to be able to grow and let go and still find a piece of life and peace, as you noted before.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
very valid for sure.
absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting
So
how that
I
works.
have to ask the most important question: what's next for WELP? So I know you have an emergency meeting on Sunday, but what are the new features and AI capabilities that you're excited about that you're willing to share with our listeners?
So WELP has been more of an inbound product. When the customers need something, they use WELP to reach out to businesses, right? I want to create, and that's what I will be discussing with my team. I want to create a sort of a new product under WELP umbrella that will be more of a sales outreach style, right? For that will combine customer engagement and customer reach out and customer sort of a retention, and combined with the messaging, sort of a CRM and payment. So I want to put these three things together. I want to put the messaging, the CRM, and the payment together so that it can be a seamless tool for medium businesses to reach out to customers. And WhatsApp will be part of it, heavy part of it. Because WhatsApp is a powerful tool, and I want to
Yes.
definitely leverage that. And now, if you integrate payment and invoicing into WhatsApp, that that becomes very good. Imagine you need something and you go to a company's website and it says, click here to talk to us on WhatsApp. You click on it, you say, do you guys have this in red color? They are, yeah. And you say, I don't want to go back to my shopping cart. Can I pay here? They're like, yeah, here's the invoice. Click on it, clicks on it, takes you to your bank app or card. You enter your details or Google Pay, Apple Pay, and it returns you back to WhatsApp. You say, yeah, I just paid. And you get the receipt in right away in your WhatsApp, and then you get the tracking number with a link on your WhatsApp, and the company says your red boots are on their way. If you have any questions, let me know. By the way, we actually have really good socks for those boots. Would you like to try them on? Like, that's upsell, that's cross sell. You're like, you know what? Why not? I got a really good service, so I will try. And then you continue, right? That is the seamless sort of an e-commerce experience I want to continue. I want to create for medium businesses. So that's what's next for well.
No, I love that. We do feel the need or feel comfortable spending more where we have a good experience. We have our trusted places. I use United, and I just feel I'm good with United every time, where other airliners have let me down, because I can communicate, I can function. And so creating that, especially for the mid-tier like business space, will be incredible for them, because there has been a severe dip in businesses across, board last year. It was very wonky. They have major peaks and valleys, and they're all trying to figure out how to recapture that audience or
Mm,
to make it more of a comfortable experience for the everyday consumer.
true. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. That in terms of we spend more time where we like, where we feel welcome, right? Where we have seamless communication experience, and we not only like and prefer them, we also talk to others about them as well.
And face, people marketing is the best marketing.
Yeah,
So if you get a referral and people say, oh yeah, where you bought your Mercedes, this great guy gave me a great experience, is very communicative. People are like, oh, well, I need to go see that guy. Not thinking
that's
about
true.
the dealership, it's that person that provided that experience.
That's true. Yeah, yes. I like what you said. People marketing is the best marketing.
It is. So how do you see the future of customer support over the next 3 to 5 years? So knowing that you want to work on this and expand, what do you see is coming down the pipeline that you're preparing for in the future?
Voice. Voice will be very heavy. I really want to invest into that at some point. We should be able to do many things with voice, right? And then um, I want the future of what do you call it, and customer experience to be seamless and sort of an all connected, and
Okay.
at the same time, very instant, right?
Yeah.
Not hold on, not being on hold, not being on delayed, instant
Yes.
customer support, but at the same time with voice, right? Not necessarily on a call, but like the way I talk to Alexa, the way I talk to my Siri, the way I talk to my Google Assistant. So I think those things. And another thing is that I believe we will have eventually our own sort of an AI assistant, sort of a butler that will take care
Yeah.
of the things for us on behalf of us with another AI assistant of the company, right? And then let us know. For what happened the other day was like I joined a mentorship session and there were a lot of AI note takers before people joined, right?
Yeah.
And I was looking at it's just me and bunch of AI note takers. And I'm like, this looks like the future, future.
Yeah.
And then the
It's kind of creepy, right?
people started joining, but I wouldn't mind talking to AI note takers. A couple days ago, I read an interesting article. So what happened is that there was a founder who wanted to meet with investors, and then he joined the call, and then when he joined, there were only AI note taker, and nobody showed up to the call. And you know what he did? He did a perfect product demo. He did a perfect. He talked to the AI note taker as if it's he provided a perfect product demo, full meeting, and 2 days later he got a call back. He said, "Hey, you delivered a very great session to my AI note taker. I got the summary. I would like to talk." You never know where the opportunity will come from. So we need to be able to embrace all the technology, and if not, we're going to be left behind.
Yes, AI is becoming the new bridge to getting to the person. It's not a barrier, but I definitely look at it as more as a bridge or a gateway to get to the next level with someone. And it's all about time saving. Time is money. So yeah, that would be interesting to show up to a full chat though it's only note takers. It'd be a little bit of an odd pivot, just
Yeah.
speaking to a screen. But that's a really great story to share. And you're right. I mean, I see that more often than not, and some of them have a few of them. And so you're just getting used to it's a change. It's coming.
That's true. That's true. Interesting. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't personally do that. I would either make it or I would say let's reschedule. I still wouldn't. So here's the thing. That is just me. I mean, I'm still not there yet, and I also think that you either do it or you don't do it. Most probably, I
Yeah.
will barely use some of those tools. I'll be like, no, I'm fine. I'll just do it myself. I'll do it
Yes.
myself on the course. It's my resistance, I guess, but I'm using other tools, right? So I will not be left behind. But again, there are certain preferences that I still want to do it myself. I don't want to do the autopilot car drive. I want to do it
Yeah.
it's a pleasure. It's like folding the, clothes, laundry. I still want to do those things myself. I like doing those things. It's my
Yeah. Well,
human
we
side.
still
It's
want to feel
meditation for
like
me.
it's necessary.
Yeah.
So the way I see AI space, the way I feel it is personally, because I'm very much like you, because I'm all about rehumanizing the business transaction, because I feel like we're getting too far away. People are using all these bots and apps and all these things. So people are getting very discouraged because they're getting so distant. So it's a
Yeah.
very old process now. And so that's why it's so saturated and it's hard to get their attention. But I think if actually companies, businesses slow down and figure out how they can rehumanize a business transaction and be more personal by the support of AI, use it as a supporting actor or actress, then they'll hit the sweet spot and they'll see a great response from it. But it's a very thin line they have to walk on to figure out how to integrate that correctly. But they need to do the right R&D, the right proof of concept, and make sure it does work for their model. But that's one of the things I see. I feel like AI needs to enrich the humanization process in business again, and that's what I'm hoping we can start seeing in the future.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it. It reminded me of a very short article I saw in the newspaper. The girl said, "I don't want AI to create art, to paint, nice picture. I want AI to do my dishes and my laundry so that I can create art." So that was fun.
The robot age will probably be there too in due
Yeah,
time.
so that was
Oh,
fun.
that's great. So, we covered so many amazing things, and I really enjoyed this podcast. I just want to do a quick highlight. Like, what's one leadership or scaling lesson that every early stage founder should internalize before they start growing fast, before they even initiate? What would you say? Hey, from my life experience, be prepared for this.
Humility and respect. Humility within yourself, respect to the person in front of you. I've seen a lot of salespeople being disrespectful to the prospects. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs or salespeople or business owners being arrogant, and I think those two things go hand in hand and go a long way. Stay inside and respect outside. So these are very, very important when it comes to building long-term relationship with your business partners, with your prospects, with your clients, with your customers, with your investors, with your board members and stakeholders. So you gotta stay very humble, down to earth. I read a recent sentence that success is silent. And another keyword that I learned recently saying that keep it private before it's permanent. Right.
Yes, amen. Yeah.
So these things go a long way, and I'm a big believer of that. And no matter how many zeros or numbers you have in your bank account, whatever you drive, whatever you do, this humility goes a long way, and respect to the people in front of you, no matter what kind of context you are in. Right? You could be the business owner talking to the customers that are complaining. You could be a founder raising from investors. You could be, a manager in front of an employee. You need to be able to learn to respect them because they come from different backgrounds, different stories. And if you're not gonna respect them, just go away, right? You can come back again and then have the respectful conversation.
Go away first, but then
So those are two things that I would definitely leave with other founders or peer or fellow entrepreneurs, that humility and respect, these two go hand in hand and a long way.
no, I think that's huge, and thank you for sharing. I mean, your journey has been a powerful example of resilience, innovation, and customer first thinking. What is something that you would advise medium business owners? What would you like to speak out to companies that'll be watching this, of kind of being more forward thinking about their businesses and how they see the future and their business practices?
Interesting. Business owners think that they do us a favor when they buy a solution from us. Some business owners, I would say that let's change that mindset into helping each other. Right? You are not doing a favor to me when you're buying a software. We're not just sitting on your expense table. We also help you get your business done. So I think business owners should treat the companies as a partnership. It's mutually equal partnership, right? Mutually beneficial partnership. So when they are choosing the right partner, they need to pay attention to those components as well. And at the same time, I'm a big supporter of value-based selling. Right? And value-based selling goes a long way. So I would encourage business owners to be able to differentiate value-based selling from just a commission-powered sales. That's a very big differentiator for when you're choosing a sort of software partner or business partner to work with.
Well said. Winning together. We got to get that strategy more initiated with people. It's meeting each other. Let's win together.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I like the way you summarize it. You actually take it and put it in a very nice packaging, very nice. You paraphrase it very well so that it's like music to ears. So thanks for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. So,
Pleasure.
and finally, for everyone listening, where can people learn more about you and whelp.com or connect with you personally?
WELP.co, or LinkedIn would be the best channels to connect with me. But Seymur, Seymur at WELP.co, WHELP.co is also my email. If someone wants to personally connect or ask questions or run their pitch deck or ask, or even collaborate together, work something, sell something to us, we'll be very open to have the conversation as well. And I don't have Instagram, I don't have TikTok, I don't have other tools. I have only WhatsApp and Telegram and LinkedIn and email. These are enough for me at this age. So yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
I try to stay away from a lot of distractions. I noticed that by age, I'm getting older. By age, we prefer more silence, more, quality over quantity. If you ask me, if you say, hey, we're getting together, three of us, for nice drinks and meal, or someone says we're having a party for 50 people, I'll say I'll go to three people. I'm gonna be quiet and peaceful there. So call me old, but getting old, or that's I'm fine with that. I'm in that category now.
I like it. You're keeping it classic. It's good.
Yeah, yeah, it's that's how it is. But and it's peaceful. I like that.
Peace is what everyone needs to focus on. I love that. It's peace of mind instead of being happy. Find your balance and understand the difference. I think that's huge. And I
I
really
got
appreciate
that.
you sharing me.
Yeah, yeah, I got that mindset from a book called Essentialism by Greg
Essentialism.
McCone. Yes, Greg talks about that. Greg talks about JOMO, so joy of missing out. So you certain things you miss, you're like, I'm peaceful with that. I'm fine with that. So yeah, I think yeah, joy of missing out. That's Greg talks about that in his book called Essentialism. So you gotta prefer essential things. I still need to read the book called Messy in Between. They say it's a really nice book. Messy in between, like it's messy in between, right? Between the like the
Yeah,
beginning and
yeah.
end.
Okay. I'm
Messy.
gonna go look
I
for
think it's
both.
like messy middle. I think it's called Messy Middle or Messy in Between. They say it's a really nice book. I need to try that and see why it's messy in the between.
I think it'll resonate with us more than we know.
True, true, very true. That's exactly why I want to read it. I know it will resonate very, very well with me, and I look forward to that. And I highly recommend the Essentialism to the listeners.
Yes, well, definitely. It's on my list. Well, Seymur, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute delight. I look forward to connecting even more in the future. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Real Tech Talk across the industries. See you on the next episode. I'm your host, Stephanie Simpson. Have a great day.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thanks for having me.
All right.